Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Fantasy Football University, FFU, coming at you yet again in week 15 of the fantasy football season, week 1 of the fantasy football playoffs. I'm Mr. Bill DeCousis. I'm here with Mr. Tom Lang. Mr. Lang, how are you doing, sir?
Let's get ready to rumble. It's put up or shut up time. Everything you did in the regular season got you to where you are right now, and let's go win it. We have a lot of in our personal leagues, we have a lot of tough matchups this week. Even in the one that I'm the number one seed, I'm going against the
The difficult bye week.
yeah, well, no, I'm not in a bye week because there's
Oh,
eight teams that are in the playoff. So I'm going against the eight seed that creeped in that was underperforming throughout the season. And here we go. This is my championship this week in that league. So um, if I win this week, then I'm coasting to the Super Bowl. So let's it's put up or shut up time. You guys got to make your right decisions, and we're here to do that with you guys. So let's win it.
yeah. And by the way, that's such a ridiculous system. Like, you can't let 8 teams in. Like,
It's a 14-man league.
eh,
So they maybe
still
should
more than
like
half. I
I think
mean,
maybe extend the playoff if that's the case. If you're going to add eight teams and start it on week 14, which would not be beneficial at all, or have a I don't know. I don't know.
well, I will say that.
Make it seven teams and then one person has the bye kind of thing.
Well, I will say now's probably a good time to mention for all of our viewers just kind of like how you approach this. So let's start at the top. We'll work our way to the bottom. So for those of you who have a bye this week, that does not mean you switch off, and it also doesn't mean that. I mean, maybe in those leagues that you're playing for total points, then it does kind of matter who you're playing this
Hmm.
particular week if you're fighting for total points. But use this time available to you to prep yourself for the final 2 weeks. Be looking ahead for matchups, especially on defenses, but also on maybe running backs or wide receivers that are on the bubble. You should not be just turning off your brain this week. That's a
Yeah,
bad strategy.
100%. Yeah, it like Billy said, in leagues, when you're on the bye, you need to make sure you're maximizing your opportunity for week 16, week 17.
Right.
You want to obviously not look so far ahead. You want to obviously, put yourself together to win the next week. I know if I win this week, I play Mr. Billy in one of my hometown leagues, so I'm very excited for that one because I'm going to destroy him. But yeah, I've already been looking ahead or trying to look ahead because I already know what his mind is like. So we're gonna see what happens.
And concordantly, we just thought we'd mention for anybody who's actually playing this week, and this has been like a big, big, big thing online about looking ahead or whatever. My personal view is you guys have heard me leading up to the playoffs. Like, if things are questionable, you focus on the week that's right in front of you. And so
Hmm.
there's a lot of people who are playing in this week that are doing some things where maybe they are looking ahead, which is fine, but you need to focus on exactly who the best matchup is. Case in point, just a good thing, like at the tight end position and you're playing this week, I would much rather have Isaiah Likely for this week to make sure that I win this week than, other weeks like, hoarding tight ends or something for following weeks. Because if I absolutely need to win, and so we'll get into that when we talk about matchups. And Tommy, I could tell you maybe the most important thing that we could tell people is let's pretend you're out of the playoffs. Let's pretend you lost and you're out. Tough season or whatever. It's happened to us too.
Hmm.
That doesn't mean necessarily that you check out, like that you just stop paying attention. It happens maybe a little bit, but pay attention. It could help you for next year. Keep making some moves. Play spoiler on somebody if it
Oh
matters.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Total points,
In one
etc.
league I'm playing complete spoiler. I was looking at everybody that has either like a really, really bad matchup with quarterback, and I'm just hoarding quarterback. So I'm dropping players that are irrelevant to like that nobody would pick up. I'm having fun there, and I'm picking up defenses that people actually have good matchups with, and they're not looking ahead. So yeah, I'm having fun with that one in that one league that unfortunately is my last year in that league, but I'm gonna have a lot of fun in that one in this postseason. But in another one, actually, it's funny. That one that we were talking about on the waiver show, I can't make any ad drops.
Oh
It's
yeah,
locked.
yeah. That league is ridiculous. You need to get
Yeah.
out of that league. That's so many esoteric rules.
It's yeah, and last year I had the same unfortunate situation. Um, but in a different scenario because it was by points. That's how I know it was a different, thing. But anyway, I couldn't make add drops last year, so it just doesn't make any sense. You want people to still be active, especially when points scored are involved within payouts as well too. That has to be a thing. You have to give people the opportunity to
I know.
basically continue to manage their roster. And if you're not, then you're just kind of shunning them away from, being productive.
I gotta tell you, we talked about this a little bit on the waiver show. So because of things like that with total points, it's why I've moved to I really, really like leagues that have you get a win for a win and then you get a win for being over the median because that solves both things. And then you don't
Mhm.
have teams vying for total points at the end because it doesn't matter. You got to the playoffs if you were good on total points anyway. So
Yeah.
I think that's the better way to do it. But again, a lot of leagues don't have it that way, so give them a chance to fight and just pay attention in general. You can improve your way for next year.
Yep.
So just thought we'd mention that. Any other quick little notes? You want to jump
Yeah.
right in here?
Yeah. I truly appreciate everybody that takes the time to watch our videos through this full NFL, fantasy football season. We will be obviously dropping more content, even post playoffs and everything. We'll
Oh, we
obviously
got a
go.
lot of stuff coming
Yeah,
on.
we'll most likely be going one a week drop and everything like that at that point. But we truly appreciate everybody that takes the time to watch our videos. If you could please like, share, and subscribe to our content, that would be very helpful for us.
Yes, it would. All right, let's jump right in. Week 15, let's go. And just a reminder to everybody, all of our must starts and probably starts will be posted in the description of this episode's video on YouTube. So please check us out there. And thank you very much again for following us. So here we go. Thursday night football. We've got the Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay are home favorites, -4.5 points. The over-under there is 44.5 points. We got two more starts in this game. Bijan Robinson, let's go, and Bucky Irving, let's go. He's Bucky Irving back, ready to roll.
Mhm.
Probably starts. And Tommy, I was actually the most anxious to talk about this with you. Before I name any other probably starts, I just want to have a 2-second conversation about Baker. I think he's playing with like some sort of a torn something in his other arm or something. It's been bad since he got injured. Like, what's going on there? Do you know anything I don't know? Like, are you hoping that the matchups help him get him through to the end of the season? What's going on with him?
I mean, he's definitely playing injured. And unfortunately, fortunately for him though, there's a lot of IR players coming back. Like Mike Evans is most likely going to play tonight. It's looking like. And same thing with Jalen McMillan. I don't think he's going to play tonight, but I do think that he'll probably be a next week kind of transition because they're two different kind of injuries. Um, but he has his talent on the field. He doesn't have to make those long time sit in the pocket decisions. He'll have people open. He has Bucky Irving back. And yet again, I do think he is injured, but Baker is very tough. He plays through injuries. But I'll tell you something right now. The Falcons defense, they have a tremendous amount of pressure on the quarterback. It right now, I mean, yeah, their rankings, they're kind of like a middle of the pack defense right now. But
You talked about this on the waiver show. I don't know where the Falcons at home are decent in certain areas, but in general, they're a bad defense because
I mean,
they've been on a bad team.
they were home last week, but were they that good against the Seattle Seahawks?
No.
Okay. But
So that's bolstering what I'm saying, but
yeah, I mean, let's just put it this way. I mean, they do have 6 interceptions. They have 20 sacks on the quarterback. That means if they have 20 sacks on the quarterback, I don't know the exact stat, but with the pressure, but they have to be basically touching the quarterback at least 60 times in this year. With that stat right there, when it just the pressure on the quarterback. So I'm gonna tell you something right now. I mean, Baker has the opportunity out there. He has the players to basically be consistent. He has players that can actually be super relevant in this matchup. It just depends on which Falcons team shows up because a lot of those numbers that I just implemented there, um, it's it's coming. A lot of it is coming from home defense. Not last week, but it's coming from home defense. This is a divisional game. They know each other fairly well. Um, let's see what happens. I mean. I think this is going to be a really nice game tonight. This could be probably one of the last really good Thursday night football games
you think?
for the season. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope you're right. I will say that kind of the way I view it is maybe he's hurt. maybe he isn't. I think he's hurt or whatever, but he is still managing to play quarterback. He's performing or whatever. I actually think after this game, maybe he's got a 10-day rest, whatever it is. Maybe it'll help him out. But if he's hurt, maybe it just kind of caps his ceiling a little bit. Like it's been bad the last couple weeks. And so, for all those reasons, it's like it's a lot very low end quarterback one. And then you get, really examine your options. I mean, we've got him here as a probably start, and other names and probably starts I would definitely consider playing over him. So and we'll get to those names when we get to them. Other probably starts here, given the line, you could probably roll with the Buccaneers defense. Um, and Amika Ibuka, like if you're going to play any wide receiver on the Buccaneers, it's going to be him. Hopefully, he could catch the targets that are thrown to him
Uh,
if they're
I,
catchable.
I mean, I think Chris Godwin is a guy that's over Emeka Egbuka, man.
I I mean Godwin himself, like again, there's going to be a lot of spreading the ball around. If you're going to play any wide receiver, it's hard to not play Ibuka with all
It's
the
hard to
amount of
not play
targets that
him,
he
but it's hard.
gets.
It's hard to not play him, but it's also hard to not play Chris Godwin. I mean, based on how he's been performing the past couple of weeks. Yeah, he has some down weeks, but he is getting the targets. His route running is crisp. So I just don't know how you can't play him this week. Last week, 8 for 5, 55 yards. He didn't get the touchdown. The week before, 5 for 3, 78 yards. And his pretty much his first game back, it was a dud week, but he's putting up wide receiver three numbers right now. Abuka is not even close. I mean, it's not the same. It's not the same of what you anticipated him to have early in the
If
season.
Ibuka catches that touchdown, maybe we think differently. I mean, it
Well,
was
I mean, yeah,
an
Emeka
egregious
Ibuka
drop.
got, in the past 3 weeks, he's gotten 25 targets, but he's not catching the ball and he's not getting the yards. So that's the biggest problem. Last week he was 9 for 2 for 15 yards against New Orleans. So I'm telling you something right now. I mean, I hear what you're saying with Emeka Ibuka, but I like the chemistry that's fallen back in line with Chris Godwin. And I think that obviously the drop passes does show maybe some zip on the ball is not there. Maybe it is Baker, but maybe this week when if Mike Evans comes back, that obviously steals from Emeka Ibuka, and then Evans is basically the touchdown target.
Maybe. I mean, let's just quickly mention the only other probably start in this game. We got Kyle Pitts, who, again, in Drake London's absence, is getting some targets and performing decently well. That's about
Mhm.
as good as you could say about him. Yeah. So just to not to bury the lead there. So let's just go to other options. Yeah, I would have pointed out Chris Godwin as a decent enough shot. I can't put him whatever category you want him. I can't put him on the same level of Ibuka because this just doesn't have that ceiling. It's just Ibuka's the super athlete, the young guy, you catch a touchdown here or there. I mean, I would say for floor play, I don't think Godwin is going to hurt you in any
Well,
way.
no, I don't think he's going to hurt you at all. But let's just put it this way. Again, I'm going to just be very clear about this. They are tied. They're tied with the Panthers this week, right? They are 7-6.
Right.
Yeah,
And
they're
they're in
both tied.
danger of losing that division.
And that's what I'm saying. When a quarterback is in danger of making decisions or basically losing a game, who is he going to fall to? He's going to fall to the players that have been performing for him for a couple of years. Just saying. It's just reality. It's going to happen. Emeka Ibuka is going to have his opportunities, but I'm telling you something right now. This if Godwin and also Evans are on the field with Ibuka, those are the guys that are going to have the fantasy numbers. And it's really difficult. It's very difficult to plug in Mike Evans this week. Very,
Yes.
very difficult.
No, I would
I
not
have him.
recommend that
I have
either.
him in a league that I'm really thinking about playing, but I don't know if I should.
No, I would say don't. I mean, if you're lucky, what you'd like to see from Evans, if you're an Evans owner, is like he comes in, he's got about 20 plays. He looks good on those 20 plays, maybe catches two or three balls. He doesn't, you know, tear his hamstring or anything. He just does well. And basically he's helping out Baker. That's actually maybe the main point. I think all these weapons back, and then especially after this game, I am hoping that all these things are helping Baker to the end of the year. That's sort of my
That
hope on
that
the
is what's
situation.
needed. That is what's needed because again, Baker is playing hurt. It's pretty clear. You could see it. But he plays through his injuries. He's not gonna shy from running the ball. He's gonna get those extra yardage. Um, I just hope that this tonight's game brings out, everybody performs underneath the lights. Thursday night football. It is a short week. And like I said earlier, I do think that this is number one, a divisional game.
Yep.
Tampa Bay has to win this game. They have to win this game because I'm guaranteeing you that the Panthers are winning this week. They
All right.
have
Well,
to win this game.
I wanted to. We spent a lot of time on this, but I wanted to get that through because Baker's a gigantic question online, and so let me just close by asking you: would you play Baker Mayfield or Jackson Dart?
I actually that's tough. I mean, I
These are not going to
say
be easy questions.
no, it's not an easy question. I will say this: if I don't sometimes like playing Thursday night players, and I think it's just because of I want to see what happens. I'm not going to lay my line on one game. I don't want to come out low, really, really bad in that first week. I do think it's 50-50 for me, to be honest. I do think that uh, Jackson Dart could finish a little bit further ahead than him based on matchup. I think they're both top 10 plays.
Yeah, we got them
Um,
both as probably starts. So
I
I
think
mean,
I think they're both top 10 plays, but if I was in this position, I'd probably start Jackson Dart.
okay, yeah, right because of
And
all
I
the
know that was a
trepidation.
question. I know that was a question for a league that we're in. And
No,
you're
no,
you have the bye this week, so you're trying to get more points out of it.
not especially. I just wanted to see how you would gauge it. I mean, look at the names that we have and probably start. Every one of them, I can make an argument over Baker. You know.
Yeah.
So it's a dicey situation. I'm hoping that what we're saying comes to fruition for him,
hmm
and maybe he isn't injured. Maybe it's just other crap, but I think he's injured. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes to the end of the year. All right, we spent a lot of time on that. Real quick, other options for the Falcons. I'm not playing a single other Falcon. We punted Mooney off the face of a planet, and no interest in playing anybody else. If you think that Algiers going to vulture a touchdown, go ahead and play him, but I wouldn't play him here. So you guys can judge Raj as you have them. All right, let's go to the next game. And man, this is going to be an awful game. God bless Mr. Thomas Lang over here who's going to be at this game. We got the New York Jets at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville are home favorites, minus 13 and a half points. The over-under is only 41 and a half points. I got news for you. This line has moved. It opened at like minus 10 and a half or something. It's now at minus 13 and a half.
I can't wait to bet on this game.
So please play your Jaguars defense. That's our number one defense this week. You're playing that defense. You're playing Travis Etienne, and you're playing Jacoby Myers, the law firm. How could you not in this game?
Hey, he is, in the past 3 weeks from week 12 to week 14, he is the number one inside the 20 with 5 targets, 3 receptions, 3 touchdowns. So every single reception is a touchdown inside the 20. And he has a couple attempts rushing the ball. So
Look at that! Look at that stat!
look
Look
at
at
that
you!
stat. Look at that stat. But I don't think they're going to be held up. It's inside the 20. They might score from the 30 plus. So,
You're gonna score every play. Oh
I
man,
mean, I mean, Jacoby Myers is the number 10 in the past 3 weeks as well, too, with 22 receptions,
yeah,
14 catches, and 179 yards. So, yeah,
yeah. He's gonna have a
pretty
good
nice.
game. Let's go to probably starts. Oh man, I can't really throw him anywhere else, but this is where Breece Hall belongs and probably starts. Hopefully you got better options. Maybe you don't, but it's Breece Hall. He's the entire offense. By the way, we don't have any confirmation. Oh, do we know? Uh, Or they were playing around with it. Is this the competitive advantage now between Justin Fields and Brady Cook, whatever it is? The point is, I don't care. I don't care. It's
Well,
not going
apparently
to
you
be.
care because you brought it up.
The point is, I don't care from a option perspective, put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, a
So
36-year-old pulled his groin, and now you have the younger
uh,
guys in there.
yeah. So anyway, Brees Hall probably start. Other
I would,
probably
I will say if it is Fields, he will make it somewhat competitive. But if it's Cook, that offense is cooked.
yeah. Fields might make it somewhat competitive for like a minute. It's not
Fields
even
might hit. I mean, he might hit the over in the applied points.
maybe for instead of 14, I'll get 16.
Yes.
Um, Other options for Jacksonville here. I think you can play Brian Thomas. I mean, the Jacksonville has almost 28 implied points. I was encouraged by how Thomas has looked as of late. I think it's a chance for him to actually reassert some dominance here. So you can roll with Brian Thomas. Other probably starts Brenton Strange, Dr. Strange. It was an off week last week, but that happens with tight ends. Give him a chance. This is that's the disease. You want the cure? It's the New York Jets. Play Brenton Strange. And like we said, you could play Trevor Lawrence here, probably start. If I had Baker Mayfield to Trevor Lawrence, I think I would play Trevor Lawrence here.
I think Jacksonville's going to put up 40 points.
They just might. Please take the over for like whatever their implied points total is. They're going to hit it. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Jets are bad. Other options in this game. We already said that we didn't in the waiver show. We initially had Mechie and Adonai Mitchell as waiver ads, and then we took them off because we're like, we can't recommend them to people. We can't
No.
we can't do that. So don't play them here. Don't play
They
any other Jets.
they were favorable drops for me in every single league that I
Yeah.
had them.
Yeah. So don't play them here. Don't play any other Jets. I'm not mentioning a single other Jet, but I do want to mention in a game where you have 20, this many implied points and they're going to crush them. I think Tutin's a decent enough running back shot too, right?
He'll find his way into the end zone.
Yeah. Just to annoy all the Etienne owners. You're right.
Yep. And I will, not to cut back, not take too much more time on this game, but I did tell you guys at the trade deadline, the NFL trade deadline, when Jacoby Myers found his way over to the Jacksonville Jaguars, I told you to go get him. I told you.
Yeah, we said it.
Yeah, I told everybody, all you people out there, you better have listened.
Under penalty of death, apparently. Uh, let's go to the next game. We got the Arizona Cardinals at the Houston Texans. Houston are home favorites, -9.5 points. The over-under is 42.5 points. You want a slaughter? We got another slaughter here. So you're playing the Texans defense. They've basically been the best defense, NFL defense all year, that is, and they're gonna have it here. So you're playing the Texans defense. You're playing Woody Marks, and you're playing Nico Collins. By the way, just on the topic of Woody Marks, I've been really impressed with him as of late. And hopefully he keeps it going to the end of the season.
The
Good
problem
on
I
him.
have with it, he runs so hard and he runs through the tackles and he runs sometimes erratic where he does get injured, but he does come back to the game. So I am a little concerned about how he's playing. But again, he's playing basically to earn a starting role. And, the biggest thing is
He might have earned
can
it. Yeah.
I think he earned it, but can he stay healthy? He's reminding me of some of these other players that do get injured and they come out like Ken Glass Walker at times.
He does. He
Um,
reminds me of Ken Walker, who runs
yeah,
hard and then, so
and then
hopefully he
just
doesn't.
glasses his leg.
Yeah, we'll get to them. Other must start in this game. It's just Trey McBride for the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals they're gonna get slaughtered here. Let's go to probably starts. We got one name here. It's Michael Wilson, and I don't care if Harrison's back or not. I'm playing Michael Wilson, and notably off this list is Marvin Harrison. I'd be real worried about playing Harrison coming back from that injury in this game.
Yeah.
So Michael Wilson probably start. You could cap your expectations there. He's not going to have 19,000 targets and 100 yards. I mean, but
Well,
maybe he gets his garbage time.
he might have 1,900 targets, but I don't think he's going to get many receptions out of those 1,900 targets.
Maybe get you garbage time touchdown too with him. So
Uh,
he's a probably start. Uh, Other probably start in this game is CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud, it's been the way that their offense is going. They just got out of a stretch where they played a bunch of difficult matchups and defenses. Now they get one where they don't play that. So maybe Stroud throws a party here and you're happy that you have him for the rest of the season. So Stroud could be we were looking at Stroud's matchups for the rest of the year. Stroud could be a real help to your team. If I have to play, I have to make this decision in the league that we were talking about, Tommy. Do I play Baker? Do I play Stroud? And I am literally 50-50 between them right
that's
now.
where I'm kind of 100% on Stroud there.
Okay, well, maybe I'll lean that way. We'll see. Like the idea was to play Baker because I get more. I'm actually opposite of you. I play Thursday night guys, so I have a better of how to manage my team. But
Hmm.
either way,
I see what you're saying, but I that's where I go Stroud. And let's talk something controversial real quick. A lot of people,
let's go.
a lot of people are, giving shade on Jacoby Myers. We've been, obviously he's been fantastic. He's been phenomenal. He has 18 attempts for seven completions for 81 yards and was it 4 touchdowns inside the 20, which is fantastic. But then also he is technically number 5 quarterback within the past 3 weeks. Both of those stats were based on the past 3 weeks. Um,
Who are you talking about?
Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett. Okay,
Yeah,
we were going. Okay, okay. You said Jacoby Myers.
sorry, Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett right now has been playing phenomenal
Yes,
as quarterback. I think that this is a
this
week.
ends.
This you do not want to risk it for the biscuit this week. If you have a better option, I think right now Jacoby Myers for me is outside the top 20 of quarterbacks this week. There's no way that I would feel comfortable playing him, especially what you saw Sunday Night Football with this Texans defense against the Chiefs. No way. No way, brother.
No way. Yeah, it's the unstoppable force meets the unmovable object. Jacoby Brissett's been a quarterback one every single week that he's been a starter. That ends this week at 100%. We've
Yeah.
got
I mean, but you can shy back to him next week, but again, this is not
right.
the week to play it.
No, let it go. Um, yeah, I was wondering who you were talking about. Like you said, Jacoby Myers and no, Jacoby Brissett.
You
So
knew who
let's
I was
get
talking about.
so let's get to other options here. So we got the news this week that Trey Benson was not going to be activated
And
from
he's gone.
and he's gone for the rest of the season. And like again, I don't want to harp on it now, but I've had it up to here with Gannon. I just what a fake. I'm not getting into it. We're just going to leave it there. So therefore, options like you could roll with Knight and Carter, but guess what? It's against Houston. I don't want to play them. I don't want to play them at all.
No.
I will say keep an eye on the usage and keep an eye on the touches because maybe you'll be encouraged to play them the final 2 weeks of the season where they have better matchups, but I don't want to play them here.
Yeah.
Uh, um, any other options you'd be willing to throw in? I know Higgins was like a, waiver wire darling the last couple of weeks. I don't know if I would play him here, but
I might play him as a flex. I mean, he is getting the targets. But again, it just depends on who you have. Like, if you're asking me Henderson or Higgins, I'm gonna go Henderson, right? If you ask me Shakir or Higgins, I'm gonna go Shakir.
Shakir. Right.
If you ask me Wandell or Higgins, I'm gonna go Wandell.
Right.
So,
Well, that we have those guys and probably start,
but
and we
if you ask
notably,
me, but if you ask me Devonta Smith or Higgins, I actually might go Higgins there.
I would not. I would not. Not there. Would you go? I know you were going to say Godwin or Higgins. You're going to say Godwin.
Of course.
Yeah. All right. Only other quick option to mention, Dalton Schultz. He's always an option. You can throw him in if you want to. Simple as that. Really, nothing too sexy about it.
Nope.
Let's go to the next game. We got the Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots. This is going to be a great game. The Buffalo are road favorites, -1.5 points. The over-under is 49.5 points. This line bumped around too. I'm excited for this game. And I think the Bills win this game. I do. I think they win on the road and they put the pressure on the
I
Patriots.
see it as well too. And the Bills defense, they've been very, very good against the quarterback. They've been very good against the wide receiver. They've been very good against the tight end. They've been very good against the kicker somehow. But which means that they're keeping them outside of kicking range. But the thing is,
Also means teams are going for two or whatever.
that
Like
too. But they have not been good against the running back. So I do feel really good about Mr. Henderson this week in this
no,
in this play.
no, we'll get to him. So must starts in this game. You're playing James Cook. You're playing Dalton Kincaid. Let's go. Back and around for action. You're playing Josh Allen. Must starts for the Patriots. One name here, Drake May. Let's go. Whole, he's second in the MVP situation or first and second with Stafford. It might have, moving around slightly, but if he wants to be MVP, you got to win games like this and you got to like perform in games like this.
And they've technically have had 2 weeks to prep for this game as well too.
Yeah. What do you, before I move on, just real quick, do you like, because this is another thing online. Like, do you think they're Fugazi, like, given their schedule, like they've had a cakewalk schedule, if you're
I
being
mean, their
honest?
their schedule has been pretty easy.
They did beat the Bills earlier in the year.
They did, but that was one of
They're their
their
only wins. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it was their prep games to get them to the Bills. They had all that chemistry and that camaraderie, and then obviously it was the awakening of Stephon Diggs. So I think this could be another Stephon Diggs game this week.
Yeah. Let's get to probably starts here. Probably starts. Yeah. We talked about him earlier in a game where there's going to be this many points. Probably start Khalil Shakir. He's the only Bills wide receiver I ever feel comfortable about playing. It's again, he gives you at least a nice floor for targets and receptions. Probably starts for the Patriots. We got Hunter Henry. If you're gonna rely on anybody for the Patriots, it's usually Hunter Henry. But now again, to your point about Henderson, yeah, we've got Henderson as a probably start here. Um, but do you think that Vrabel is going to do this business where he just 50-50s it with Henderson and Stevenson again, or like do you just rely on the explosiveness of Henderson?
I think it's honestly going to be 50-50 until somebody starts performing greater. So I think that that's just the system that he has. And unfortunately, at times, Henderson is not he's a big play at times, but then he's going to get some grindy yards. But they do utilize Stevenson more thoroughly in the passing game, and then they spell in a little bit of Jennings, which kind of takes away from Henderson's opportunity to be explosive on some of those opportunities. So I feel like here's like, it's it's bound for Henderson to have a really good big game this week. But it could be taken away slightly based on the other two performers out there. I temper my expectations with Henderson. I know, again, we always say don't chase the projection of points. I think he may hit the under on his like 15, and he has like projected like 15 and a half points in a full point PPR league. He may hit, I think his ceiling, to be honest, is about 12 points.
You'll
I
be
think that's
reasonably happy if you get to 12. I mean,
Yeah, and that's RB2, that's an RB2 range right there. So he's not a bad play. But if if coaching over there does decide just to give him the ball maybe one or two more times, that 12 points that I just said could be 20 points. So we'll see.
let's talk about other options. And honestly, there's only one set of guys to even mention other options. So Tommy, you're more plugged into this than I am. I think you have some of these guys. So Diggs, Boutte, Douglas, and Hollins. Which among these wide receivers would you be willing to throw in there?
Diggs.
Diggs has not had a good game in like
Doesn't matter.
3 or 4 weeks.
It's against Buffalo. It's just he plays well against teams that he's played for. So,
That's true. There's revenge
I
element
just
there.
yeah, he that's just him, right? So that's just his model. So, I don't care if he's 45 years old as a wide receiver, he's still gonna perform as a 20-year-old. So, I think Diggs has a good week this week. He's gonna command a lot of targets. Again, it is a tough defense when it comes down to the pass defense for the Bills, but again, it is Stephon Diggs going against his old team. He's gonna find his way to get open.
I'll make a semi. No, it won't even be that bold. I think we're going to be talking about Boutte on the waiver wire next week. He had that injury situation, and then before that, he was one of your darlings, and then he came
Yeah,
back. He had a touchdown, prior to the bye week. I think we're going to be talking about Boutte.
yeah. I mean,
I could see him having a nice game.
I love me some Boutte.
Yeah, there you go.
But honestly, this point in the season, I'm just not sure if I'm going to be 100% on board with plugging him into my lineup. It's just he's so up and down. He had a nice clean streak early on. He was very consistent, and then started getting injured. Started not catching the balls in the positions, not getting the targets that he was getting because then Stephon Diggs popped off, and then you have Pop Douglas. And then you have obviously Mac Hollins as well too, just coming out of nowhere as well too. So there's a lot of mouths to feed over there. There's a lot of guys that are being value role players. And I just think that takes a little bit away from him. So yeah, we may talk about him in the waiver show based on his performance this week because he may score a touchdown, but I don't know if that's something you want to really put all your money in your basket for that one.
Okay. Let's go to the next game. We got the LA Chargers at the Kansas City Chiefs. The
Mhm.
Chiefs are home favorites -4.5 points. The over-under is a paltry 41.5 points. The line does not give a lot of points for the Chargers, so we've got the Chiefs as a must-start defense, to Tommy's dismay here. Other must-starts in this game, Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes. They are clinging on to whatever playoff hopes that they have, and if they have any, they have to win this game. Whether they will win, I don't know, but they have to win this game. We've got no must starts for the Chargers. Let's get to probably. Probably starts here. If you're gonna play Hampton, he's gonna have to be played in even difficult matchups, though. But
Mhm.
I'm not crazy about it, though. Um, you're gonna be playing Hampton, no issues. I know you have him in one or two places, right?
I'm playing Hampton. Unfortunately, it is a really bad matchup.
Terrible.
I say it every single week. The Chiefs' rush defense is tremendous. They are very, very good. But I still have to play Hampton, and the point, basically the numbers go by this. Last week he had 5 touches inside the 20 yards, and then basically 1 for 1, 4 yards and a touchdown. Against also the Eagles defense, who is good as well too. They're not fantastic against the run, especially when Jalen Carter's not in there, but they are a good defense. The Chiefs defense, I almost look at them as close to identical as them. But I think the numbers based on the rankings when it comes down to Philadelphia, they've had some down weeks, which actually puts them into an easier matchup against the running back. But I think they're very close on paper to what the Chiefs are, and the Chiefs scheme does hold the running game to a minimum. But I do think that this is going to be a good game for Hampton. He's going to overexceed his projected points, and I think he could have a really big week.
Other probably starts here. This is kind of where we've got Lad McConkey. It's not been pretty the last couple of weeks, and going into a very difficult matchup against the Chiefs, hopefully he could target and PPR his way to some relevance. I'm not
Hmm.
so crazy about it, but it's really difficult to suggest sitting him. So we got him as a probably start. Adjust, check your options as you have them. Only other probably start in this game is Kareem Hunt. Like we said, he's the more valuable of the 50-50 they've got because of the passing work and because of the red zone work.
Hmm.
But very, very low end, probably start there. Other options in this game. I mean, we could just sit and talk about the other Chargers pass catchers really to the end of time here. Keenan Allen, we've already recommended as a drop candidate, so we're not playing him. Quentin Johnson could get a 90-yard touchdown. He could do nothing in the game, so you judge that. Gadsden, we had as a drop candidate at tight end. I
Yep.
mean, maybe he can turn it around, but it's hard to just assume that he will, right?
He's
Like,
been doing nothing the past couple weeks, and it's not in relevance to Herbert's injury because Herbert was healthy
right.
and he had that quick injury, and basically he's back and he's not 100%. You could tell, but it is on his non-throwing hand. He is, kind of hesitant on some of these plays when he's falling to the ground. You could see, but it's not affecting him throwing the ball. And Gatson is just not the guy. Now that Hampton's back, they got Hampton Vidal back there. It's a nice 1-2 punch. But I think Hampton takes it over a little bit more thoroughly. But back to Gatson. He is technically, the passing game hasn't been stout the past couple weeks. I think this could be a game where they need to go against obviously a tough defense, which they have in the past, and they played them week 1, and they won that game. And I think this could be. I think you could technically play both defenses, to be honest, in this game.
Maybe if you think it's going to hit the under for
I
sure.
think it's going to hit the under. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a not heavier scoring game. It could be about 21-17 finish. We won't say who's going to win this game. Though I do know who's going to win this game, and it's not the. Let's move on.
All right. Other options for the Chiefs. I'm not playing Juju. I'm not playing Hollywood, but I just want to mention Xavier Worthy, who we had as a drop candidate. Maybe we should have been clear. I think Worthy would have been worth it to keep in like standard type of leagues. Because he can have a couple of these plays that just gets him to relevance. Like,
Worthy is not worthy at all.
um, it's semi-worthy in standard leagues. I could see some sort of a value there, but it's just my annoyance with Worthy is I was waiting for him to do the Tyreek Hill thing because Tyreek Hill was very similar to him, super fast, whatever. But until he learned route running, he just never became relevant until he finally learned how to run routes properly, get himself open, whatever. Worthy doesn't know how to do that. He just knows how to run straight line. That's it. So I don't know. Maybe they just run more deep shots to him at
Like
some point. Like the
like I said,
potential was there. It's just
yeah, but like I said, Worthy right now this year, he is not worthy to be on your roster.
very good. You just love that pun. Let's go to the next game. We've got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are home favorites, minus 11 and a half points. The over under there is a Sexy 38 and a half points. Let me tell you right now, man, we got a couple of these games that are just going to be pure destruction, and this is one of them. You're playing the Eagles defense happily and walk your way to a victory. You're playing Saquon Barkley, you're playing AJ Brown, and you're playing Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is not going to have two turnovers on the same play in this game. He's going to be just fine. We got one must start for you on the Raiders, and that's Brock Bowers. Let's go to probably starts. Probably starts. This is where we stuck Jeanty, and man, I don't want to play Jeanty, but yeah, I guess a lot of people are going to have to, right?
They're going to have to. They are going to have to this week. And honestly, let me put it this way. Do you
I'd rather
remember
play
where
Breece Hall.
this is not a yeah. No, actually I probably wouldn't. Do you remember where Kenny Pickett started his season this year?
Pittsburgh. Oh no.
Nope.
Oh, Cleveland, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but where did he win the Super Bowl last year?
He was on Philadelphia, was
It
he?
was on Philadelphia, and he
Right.
played some games for that Philadelphia Eagles offense
Oh
last year.
God, the revenge narrative.
Revenge game.
Oh,
This is it. This is it.
oh
Kenny
my
Pickett,
God.
starting quarterback this week for the Las Vegas Raiders, is going to be going over back to his hometown. Super Bowl winning Kenny Pickett is going to throw three touchdowns to Brock Bowers.
He's going to throw three touchdowns to Cooper DeJean is what he's going to do. Um, yeah, it's going to be a bad game. If you're a Genty owner, you hope that somehow magically he ends up in the end zone magically somehow. It might not happen. So judge your options as you have them. We got him as
I
a
think he
probably side.
scores. I think he scores.
Hopefully, hopefully. Other probably starts in this game. This is where we've got Devontae Smith and we've got Dallas Goedert, both the other options for the Philadelphia Eagles. They should go in there and crush them.
They need
And
to, because if they don't win this game and the Cowboys win,
yeah, they're in a lot of trouble.
they're in trouble.
Yeah, they need to go in there and win. By the way, the Eagles play Washington twice. The upcoming games of the season. So it's not like they've got easy games coming up. So they have to take the ones that are given to them.
Yep.
So I feel like they go in there and smash them. All right, other options in this game. We're not mentioning a single other player from the Raiders. But just a quick mention of the Tank Bigsby thing on Philadelphia. So we're not advocating to play him, but
No.
I but I just want to do a double thing, like just, and I was looking at percentages after the waiver show. I don't understand how guys don't have their handcuffs. How do you not have Algier if you're Bijan? How do you not have Bigsby if you're Barkley? You know what I mean? Like just
Well, it's
people,
because somebody else has Algier.
whatever.
But
No, they don't. If we look at the percentages, anyway, I'll get off that thing. Yeah, that's everybody worth talking about. Let's talk about the next game. We got the Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. Baltimore are road favorites minus 2.5 points. The over-under is 51.5 points. You're going to want to get pieces in this game. This is going to be a good one.
mhm.
Must starts. Ravens. You got Derrick Henry. You got Zay Flowers. You got Mark Andrews, and you got Lamar Jackson. Hopefully, Lamar can like stop looking like he's injured too. But against the Cincinnati Bengals, you play Lamar Jackson. Cincinnati, you're playing Chase Brown. You're playing Jamar Chase. You're playing T. Higgins if he plays,
And
right?
there is something, yeah, no, 100%. But there is basically some controversy going on in the back, with the staff and everything about
The
potentially,
concussion thing.
yeah, maybe having him come back and when he was still potentially injured and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, obviously they have their guidelines. They go through all that stuff. So he had a clear concussion protocol. I mean, I would assume he's fine, but again, keep an eyeball on that because this could be something where he just, he right now has been participating individual portion of practice. He's not in practice right now playing full speed or anything like that. So, and you're not going to anticipate him to, but if he doesn't practice in full today, Thursday, then I'm going to be a little worried. But he's a guy that basically doesn't have to really practice all week, right?
That's a
And
standard thing. He never practices and
yeah, and then he
he'll,
performs.
he'll
So
suit up. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a little hesitant. I have him in a league where I need to win this week, and I do right now have him in my wide receiver two position. And this is where I'm making, I'm a little hesitant on playing either one hurt wide receiver or another hurt wide receiver coming back from IR wide receiver, which is Mike Evans. So
Yeah,
It's difficult.
pick
It's
up
difficult.
Yosivas or something. I
I
mean,
know. I actually did in another league, but I don't think he's available in this league. So it's it is what it is. But I'll make that decision, but not to talk about my team so much. I do think that T. Higgins does suit up this week, and he should be cleared. But again,
have a
you
pivot.
need to have an option just in case.
Yeah, we kind of just quickly mentioned it there. I wouldn't have Yosivas as a must start if Higgins doesn't play, but he's a decent enough option. That's a good pivot. Immediately same game, so keep an eye on that. Other must start in this game obviously is Joe Burrow. This is it. They're gonna have a bit of a shootout here.
Yep.
Probably starts. This is kind of what we were saying. I was saying right at the beginning of the show. Probably start Isaiah Likely, and this is what I'm saying about people who are playing this week. Play the game that's right in front of you. I got it. It's a 1 week rental, but it's a great rental. If you really want to make sure that you get a week, the Bengals are the worst team in NFL history against tight ends right now. We're talking about not just tight end ones, tight end twos and threes. Like Isaiah Likely's super talented. He's had however many weeks that he was missing some touchdown. He's going to go off in this game, and then he's going to be irrelevant for the rest of the year. Like you need to have him for this game if you absolutely need to win.
Yeah.
So please,
And Isaiah likely is getting more touches inside the 20. So that's going to be basically where he's going to score six. He did have one touchdown, and he also dropped one touchdown last week as well too. So he is definitely somebody that's being targeted and obviously Lamar Jackson needs the help. He needs the help to better himself. He is playing injured. It's very clear he's playing injured. As well. But I think this game's going to be a shootout, and they need him to perform.
yes. Other options in this game, in a game where there's this many points, I know you people try to find other names that you can, but the other Ravens options are just not that good. So, stay away from them.
Yeah, stay away from Rashard Bateman this week.
Yes. But like we said, Yosivas is a very good pivot if Higgins is not able to go. And Tommy, I know you're such a fan of Santa Claus, but is Gesicki gonna the tight end for Cincinnati now?
Gesicki is back. He scored a touchdown last week. He is the guy. He did the gritty in the end zone, and yeah, he's the guy. That's the tight end.
Very good.
Unfortunately, Santa Claus hasn't shown up this year. He may show up in a week or 2 weeks.
I think Gesicki is a decent enough if you want to take a home run shot at tight end. I like other tight ends better, but you can judge your options as you have them. Let's go to the next game, and I'm so excited to talk about this with you because I have a lot of questions here. We got the Washington Commanders at the New York Giants. The Giants are home favorites, -2.5 points. The over-under is 46.5 points. There's no coaches left in New York, so I don't know
Nope.
who's going to coach them. Um,
And the Giants have the worst defense in the NFL.
yes. And they're still favored here magically. Must starts in this game. We got one name here. That's Terry McLaurin. He's been performing well and against the bad defense. Let's go. Terry McLaurin probably starts in this game. This is where we got most of these guys. For Washington, probably start Deebo Samuel. Probably start Marcus Mariota, right? Like it is what it is, right?
I think there's three must starts to be completely honest on and combining both teams. Terry McLaurin is a must start, Debo is a must start, and Theo Johnson's a must start.
Deebo, I'm waiting for another ceiling game. I
This is
mean,
it. This is it.
okay. Probably starts like we have him. We have Wandale Robinson here, Theo Johnson, and Jackson Dart. I'm not sure if Wandale or Theo are his quote unquote favorite target, but I know he likes both of them.
Theo
So
Johnson is his go-to guy. And he's going to be his red zone guy. They're going to find their way to the red zone multiple times this game as well too.
yeah. By the way, do you think Jaden Daniels comes back this year?
No. I I've talked about this. I made it
Don't
very
don't think don't say if you think he should. I'm asking you, do you think he will?
No, he will not. And honestly, they rushed him back. And I'm telling you, they rushed him back because of the hard knocks. That is not the way to do it. That is not what you do. The guy re-injured the elbow. He re-injured his entire arm. He should not come back. He
That
is
should.
literally he should not come back. This coaching staff should not allow him back on the field this year. Give him a rest of the year to recover. And guys, remember, this is why we were completely pushed off about drafting him as the QB3. Do not go based off of last year's numbers. Yes, fantastic by taking on, Debo Samuel. He had a good early start, right? The problem is you got to see more. You have to see more consistency to put a big draft capital number on that guy, on anybody. Don't do it. It's not worth it. The only player that really overperformed our expectations is the number one wide receiver in JSM. So, um, yeah,
Yeah.
let's move
Let,
on.
let's talk other options. Yeah, don't mix up JSN and JCM. Two very different people.
Yeah,
So
JCM is trash. Move on.
other options here. Well, let's talk about Washington indeed. So I was all ready to be excited about being like, hey, Rodriguez is a decent shot. You could throw him in. And then I found out he hasn't been practicing because he has a groin injury this week. So do you think you just pay attention to that, make sure he gets a practice in, and then he's a decent enough shot against the Giants defense, or are you worried? Because I'm a little worried.
I would be a little worried if I was what you call it, Rodriguez owner, but again, if he plays, you're playing him. He's getting he's getting the touches, and he's also going against the second worst rush defense in the league. It's amazing because the Giants have the best. I really feel like they have one of the best on paper defenses when it comes down to the front eight. But
They
it's
phoned
just
it in a while back, though.
yeah, they did. They're kicking it. They're already in Mexico, on vacation right now.
Other than some of their pieces that we're excited about on offense, yeah, they're phoning it in.
Hmm.
Um, so I mean, for that reason, if Rodriguez doesn't play, I mean, what McNichols and JCM are both shots.
It's
I mean,
disgusting. I wouldn't even. I don't know. I can't honestly. Analyzing this right here. I'd say if Rodriguez doesn't play, it
which is a
doesn't take
real
away
possibility.
which is a possibility. This is the only time that I'd say you can have an opportunity and plug in JCM.
Okay, all right, you heard it here first.
It's making me sick. I feel like I want to vomit right now.
All right. Only other option to mention for the Commanders is I want everybody to keep an eye on Ben Sinnott, who's taking over a tight end after Ertz's injury. He was a highly touted guy coming in, super talented. See how he does. Just keep an eye. Just see how he
That
looks. He might
and
not get
I mean
tons of production, but
no, but and let's just say outside of the Giants defense, that is the only area where they're actually good is defending the tight end.
right. Which again,
So,
relatively. On the Giants end, though, Tommy, I know you're like, it's funny. You go from like, I like Singletary to I like Tracy. So would you play either one as a shot in this game?
Tracy is gonna play this week. I would still lean Singletary. I like Tracy in a full point PPR opportunity, but I also semi like Singletary in a full point PPR opportunity. But again, Tracy is getting the targets, whereas Singletary may get one extra target, which also kind of just that one extra target could give him the opportunity based on the touches he's getting on the ground, level out exactly what Tracy's getting. But then Singletary is getting the touches inside the 20, which is giving you the opportunity to score a touchdown. So.
Okay. I think I've told you in the past, like I like Tyrone Tracy. I like him. Like I don't know why. Like I think he's better, but whatever. I mean,
He's
maybe they.
definitely more talented, but I think that Singletary is more reliable.
Okay. I mean, whatever you make of that. Um, I mean, would you rather play Singletary or Tootin?
Singletary.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the next game. We got the Cleveland Browns at the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are home favorites minus 7.5 points. The over-under there is a paltry 38.5 points. There's some weather concerns for this game. We were just looking it up. Now, a lot of people, before I say anything about this, and again, we'll be talking about stuff in the offseason. A lot of people online are obsessed with how dare the NFL make this line the way that it is. Don't you know that Shador, blah, 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 blah. You could fill in all the blanks there. Okay. I am willing to trust the Vegas line and assume that the Bears are going to go in and, shut down the Browns. However, it's been noted that people are worried that you should not be playing the Bears defense because Cleveland is going to go and destroy them, according to everybody that you hear online. So whatever. The Bears defense we're having is a must start, but you've heard the trepidation. I've given you guys the other side. Other must starts in this game. Quinshawn Judkins and Harold Fannin. Let's go. Fannin now should be started everywhere basically
Yeah,
until Kingdom Come. And the other must start is for the Bears is DeAndre Swift. Their running game is unbelievable. The Chicago Bears offensive line is basically top five at this point. They're doing really well. We've got no probably starts in this game because we know the guys who we want to play, but other shots. I mean, would you be willing to take a shot on, I feel like it's disgusting with DJ Moore or Luther Burden here in Roma Dunze's absence?
I'd still go DJ Moore. I think that even though that there's something going on in that front office and whatever is happening there, he's still a valued asset that wants to play. He's not Kenny Galladay. He wants to play. So I do think that he has an opportunity to have a decent week. We're talking about maybe a wide receiver 2 week. So I do think that again, he could finish as a wide receiver 2, but I would probably market him as a wide receiver 3 this week.
Okay. I agree. I could not agree with you more, 100%. Other name to mention here. So if you want to take a shot on Loveland, fine. I mean, I've been encouraged by what I've been seeing as of late.
Hmm.
I'm a little worried about the lower line. Like it could just be a real disgusting game. Just kind of, mucking around in bad weather with two good defenses with a low over under. But you could take a shot if you want to there. Special mention to Manungai. This is one of these teams that where it's like you could kind of throw in both running backs if you need to. I wouldn't want to play Manungai here, but I'm encouraged by the usage. So keep an eye on
I
it
honestly
forward.
think Manungai is a better running back than DeAndre Swift.
I do too. I do too. Manungai might be is going to be a highly. We're going to have a Manungai is going to be good for next year. I'll tell you
And
right now.
Swift is only on a 1 year deal. He's I don't think they re-sign him.
Absolutely not. Manungai's next year is going to be great. Nobody else on the Browns you're willing to play, right?
No.
Nope. 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 Move away. Let's go to the next game. More destruction. We've got the Tennessee Titans at the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are home favorites, minus 12.5 points. The over-under is 44.5 points.
The San Francisco 49ers are favorites, minus 25 and a half points.
It feels like it. So you're playing the 49ers defense. You're playing God Among Us. You're playing Christian McCaffrey. You're playing Jawan Jennings, who's been good. He's just give the guy his flowers. He's been great. You're playing George Kittle and you're playing Brock Purdy. You're playing the entire 49ers team. We've got no must starts for Tennessee. And guess what? We've got no probably starts for Tennessee or the 49ers either. Um, so let's just go to probably starts. Let's just get Tennessee out the way. Is there a single player on Tennessee you'd be willing to throw in?
This week, based on the scenario, I would potentially want to plug in Spears based on the scenario.
No, no caring nothing of Pollard being the best running back in
No,
history last week or whatever.
no. But I'm not anticipating many, 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 many points. This could be a very, very low end flex play. He could be only the probably opportunity that could be on that offense, to be completely honest there. But I will say on the San Francisco side, just because of, the saver Christian McCaffrey, Brian Robinson could be a nice opportunity to score a touchdown and
Maybe.
also to see anywhere from about 35% of snap share.
Would you play Robinson or Tootin?
Robinson.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you're right. I mean, if they get ahead of enough. But I
I think
think
it's the same thing, but I think Robinson's a better running back than Tune.
you think Kamara DK gets a return touchdown in this game and then makes himself viable again.
Return touchdown. So that's a Tennessee, basically that's going to shy basically of the negative points that should be in effect of Tennessee's defense this week. So maybe they finish up at 0 points, because of the -6. So
Yes. San Francisco, the only other guy I'd want to just quickly mention is Pearsall. So he's done nothing since he's been back. And
yeah,
if he can't do anything here, then I'm never even going to remotely bring him up again. We already had him as a drop candidate. So the 49ers have one of the highest implied points of the whole week, basically 29 points. So if you want to take that shot, fine. I think it's just a consolidation of the guys that they have. But you guys judge your options as you have them. All right, let's get to the game of the week. We've got the Detroit Lions at the LA Rams. The Rams are home favorites, minus 5.5 points. The over under there is a nice 54.5 points, the highest over under of the week. You're playing basically everybody in this game. This is going to be a great game. You're playing Jameer Gibbs. You're playing Kyren Williams. You're playing Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're playing Puka Nacua. You're playing Jamison Williams. You're playing Devontae Adams. You're playing both quarterbacks, Jared Goff, and you're playing Matt Stafford. Um, so no probably starts in this game because every guy that's questionable, you're going to be playing them. But let's just mention some other options here. Um, Tommy, the biggest question here, because you talked about him, like I went and I listened to our show a few times. We spent a lot of time on Blake Corum. Would you be willing to throw in Corum here?
Yeah, still. I mean, he's definitely somebody. I think he's going to finish up with RB2 numbers this week, and
30 implied points. Yeah.
he could it could go greater. He is technically getting 6 touches. He got the past 3 weeks. He had 6 touches for 38 yards and 2 touchdowns inside the 20. He's not getting receptions, but he is getting outside the 20 as well too. He is playing very, very good football. They're giving him the ball more thoroughly to give up more of a ramp up period for him for the playoffs, but then also to rest Kyren Williams, which I think is smart. They're not completely resting Kyren Williams, which is not good for your Kyren Williams owner. But I do think that Blake Corum, you have to play both those guys honestly this week, just based on the applied points and what the system is right now. Blake Corum, the past 3 weeks, has had 26 touches for 233 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 reception for 3 yards. Right. So the reception back is still Kyren Williams. Blake Corum is going to get the ball and be able to do something with it. He is averaging right now 9 yards per average in 9 yards per touch. So that I think that's very high. But their offense is just so stout right now. And again, this is a tough defense against the front defense with Detroit. But I like to see Blake Corum going against his old teammate over there on the defensive side, and I do think that this could be a fun game to watch. I mean, it is a revenge game for Jared Goff, like it always is against Los Angeles Rams, and it is a revenge game for Matthew Stafford against his old team as well too. So both drafted parties play against each other. There's a lot of narrative right there, and it is a 425 game. There's 5 425 games this week, so
Nice.
tune
It'll
into
be-
your red zone.
yeah, it'll be good on Red Zone.
Yeah.
All right, would you play Corum or Robinson?
Robinson. Which Robinson?
Brian
Oh,
Robinson.
Brian Robinson. I played Blake Corum.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So you're feeling that good about Corum. Okay.
Yep.
Um, yeah, for other options for the Rams, I'm a big fan of Colby Parkinson, and Tommy's starting to get on that train.
This is a game I play him.
I think it's a decent option if you want to throw him in. There's a lot of good tight ends going on this week, but I like what I've been seeing from him as of late. So in a game where they have 30 implied points, I mean, it's you could do way worse than him. Um, Other options for the Lions, like Montgomery, like here's a game where, like we keep saying all the time in games where you think that they're going to smash the team, they're certainly not going to smash the Rams. However, the implied points are so high, and he's been scoring the last couple weeks here. So you could throw Montgomery in. I'd feel better about some of these other guys that we've been mentioning. Like, would you play Corum or Montgomery?
I would play Corum still.
Okay. But again, there's worse
And
options.
I think that one is close though. I think that one is closer than Corum is getting more touches. Montgomery, I think, is also starting to get a little bit more touches based on the same kind of scenario with we need to rest these guys, but they also need to win. So, the Lions are not guaranteed a playoff spot right now based on their record.
Okay. No, no, they're not, and they absolutely need to win. And I don't know if they win this game. Who do you think wins this game?
I think the Lions win it.
You think the Lions win this game over the
Mhm.
Rams?
Yep.
Okay.
Because I
Bold.
do still think that the 49ers are going to take over the NFC West.
Okay. Would you be willing to play any other Lions here?
Uh,
Tesla.
Tesla's 2 for 2 for 2 touchdowns
That's true.
inside the 20 past
I
3 weeks.
I would not. I
Even
think
with the guys, but again, I don't know if you're gonna. He's a touchdown or bust play, so
yeah.
don't do it.
I would not. It's too bad that we never got to see Tesla without Amon-Ra. It's too bad, but yeah, it's okay.
Yep. A lot of fab paid, but let's move
Yeah.
on.
All right, we got the Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints. Carolina are road favorites, minus 2.5 points. The over-under is 40.5 points. I was amazed at this line. I can't believe that Carolina is favored on the road and favored by that much. The Saints are being competitive here. So if I'm a betting man, I think I might take the Saints here. I think I would. Um,
I don't.
you disagree? Okay.
Yeah. I said it earlier. I think Carolina wins this week, and I think Tampa Bay loses.
Okay. Must starts in this game. Tet McMillan and Chris Olave, the target king himself, probably starts in this game. You could probably roll with both defenses. Given the line, it's not a lot of points for either team. Both defenses are fine. Maybe a special mention to the Panthers, especially given what Vegas is saying here. Other probably starts Devin Neal. I mean, he's been one of our darlings the last couple of weeks, but I've got him as an injury consideration. Is Devin Neal a probably start even if Kamara plays,
Yeah,
no matter what?
100%.
Okay.
Think this
Okay.
game is a lower scoring game as well too. I think it's like a 20. Oh, it's the middle of the pack. I think it's 24-21 finish, and Carolina wins by a field goal.
Okay. Other probably start here, Juwan Johnson. We're waiting for the blow up game, but he's holding in it enough with a decent enough floor as of late. So
Mhm.
Juwan Johnson, a decent
If
enough tight end here.
if Tyler Show does not run in for two more touchdowns, I think Jawan Johnson does score a touchdown through the air this week.
Yeah, let's talk other options here. So, yeah, let's start on the Saints side. I wouldn't be willing to play any if even if Kamara plays, I don't want to play him, and I
No.
wouldn't be willing to play another Saints. But I do just want to mention Tyler Show. He's been good the last couple weeks. If he rolls again and he has another good week, I might be willing to roll with him the next week.
Yeah, you got to see it. I mean, again, this is like the same scenario that we discussed earlier, with like Mike Evans and whatnot. It's not an injury, right? It's not a guy that's been injured. It's a guy that's been performing, but you need to see consecutive weeks with Tyler Show to plug him into your playoff spot or your week two in playoffs. So it's gonna be really tough to make that decision. Um, but yeah, I mean, if the numbers show, just like how the numbers shown with Jackson Dart, you got to do it. You got to take that upside.
Yep. Panthers side, I'm not willing to play Bryce Young. I'm not willing to play any of the other pass catchers, but I do want you to shed some light on the Chuba Rico situation. Who do you play? Do you play either of them? What's their usage? How do you see this?
That's another tough call. I mean, honestly, I think that Chuba has been obviously on the uptick. He's been playing a lot better. He's not as injured anymore, and he's fighting for his RB1 spot again. And same thing with Rico. Rico's hurt, but not hurt in the sense where he's hurt,
His
right?
egos are
His ego's hurt, because he's falling back in line of what had happened in the past. But I think the guy is still performing, and I think that he is, still going to see at least 40 to 45% of the touches, which he can make do with them. This is a good matchup for the both of them, so I think that, you could see nice numbers from both those guys.
I see their situation so similar to Tracy and Singletary, and at least in this game here.
But
Like
they're a better Tracy and Singletary.
they are better than they are. The both of them are, but maybe they're not in as good a matchup, you know. I mean, who would you rather play? Chuba Hubbard or Singletary?
Truba Hubbard.
Okay. Chuba Hubbard or Blake Corum?
Chuba.
Okay. Okay. The man is questioning his decisions.
Yep.
But there we go. That's everybody relevant in that game. Let's go to the next game. We got the Green Bay Packers at the Denver Broncos. Green Bay are road favorites, minus 2.5 points. The over-under there is 42.5 points. So a lower scoring game here. Must starts in this game, both running backs, Josh Jacobs and RJ Harvey. Probably starts in this game. You could start both the really good defenses, Packers and Broncos, which otherwise is keeping the over-unders on these games lower than they would be. So decent enough shots at defense there. Other probably starts. I mean, both of the main wide receivers, Christian Watson and Cortland Sutton. I mean, I like the upside of Watson. I mean, he's always threatening to go score a 90-yard touchdown. So, but he's been keeping his floor good as well. So Christian Watson and Sutton, he's back to being the dominant alpha guy there. Just it is what it is. Other options in this game. On the Broncos side, we've already recommended Troy Franklin. He was a drop candidate. Unless he comes back and dominates this game, which he probably won't. Probably more on the wayside because other guys are getting just snaps. Like the rest of the wide receiver core are just kind of splitting in now. That's
Mhm.
Marvin Mims, that's Pat Bryant. So it's not as attractive. Yeah, I don't want to. Obviously, we're not fans of Evan Ingram. We're not playing him. But on the Green Bay side, Tommy, can you name a single other pass catcher you'd be willing to throw in there?
I think this could be, and I don't like saying it, but I think this could be a Jaden Reed game.
Okay.
He came back last week. He saw some targets. He's getting more acclimated into the offense, and I think this could be a week where I don't think this is a great week for both offenses. I think that this could be a nice defensive game. But I think Jaden Reed could see the targets and make something with them.
Okay. Maybe you're right. It,
He is Mr. Playoff, fantasy football playoff. So we'll see.
yes, he is.
Yeah, he is.
All right, let's talk about the quarterbacks. These are two guys that they have fantasy relevance, but for very different reasons, and we have neither of them in must or
Mm-mm.
probably start here. I would I would stay away unless you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel. But like, and again, we'll put it up. Every one of the guys that we have in probably starts, you'd be willing to play them over Love and Nix, correct?
Yep. Jackson Dart over both of those guys. 100%. Marcus Mariota over both of those guys.
Hmm.
Trevor Lawrence over both of those guys. Um, obviously CJ Stroud 100% over both of those guys. Baker Mayfield, it'd be tough, but yeah, I'd play Baker over both those guys as well too.
Okay. Just a quick mention that, I recognize Love has been good the last couple of weeks, especially with the amount of touchdowns, but this is a difficult matchup for both teams with defenses. So
Hmm.
that's why we're just playing the percentages. So don't come and get mad at us if, oh, look how this aged well and Love has three touch like we're just playing what we have in front of us right now. So just keep it in mind before you guys come at us. Um, Next game, we want more destruction. We got some more destruction here. We've got the Indianapolis Colts at the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle are minus 13.5 point home favorites. The over-under is 42.5 points. Um, I don't know if it's Philip Rivers or not, but it doesn't really matter for us. The Seahawks are
He
going
looks he looks like Jake Lorenzen from
to.
the Hefty Lefty.
So please play your Seahawks defense. The Seahawks defense,
It's
whoever's
so amazing because he just has such a massive upper body, but his legs they look like twigs.
I gotta point this out, man. The Seahawks defense, God bless anybody who's had them. For like the last 8 weeks, they've been must starts and they've hit every single week. They've been
Yeah,
unbelievable. So
Seahawks are gonna
they're
have a
gonna
nice
hit. They're
game.
gonna hit again. Although I think their last 2 weeks are bad, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll keep an eye on that. So you play on the Seahawks defense. You're playing JSN, and you're playing Sam Darnold. Let's go. On the Indianapolis side. We got one must start, and sorry, some of the upside has been capped a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. That's Jonathan Taylor. Although I am hoping narrative street that if it's Philip Rivers, he just does dump off after dump off to Jonathan Taylor. So
Mhm.
we'll find out. Um, Other probably
I
starts.
mean, he did play with LaDainian Tomlinson, right?
He absolutely did 1,000 years ago in a galaxy far away. Probably starts in this game. This is where we've got both Walker and Charbonnet, right, Tommy? Probably
Hmm.
start running backs in a
Well, you know
game
what's
where
funny? It's just not to cut you off with
oh,
that,
sure,
but
sure.
know what's funny about there's a stat line that basically Matthew Stafford is like 200 yards away from surpassing Philip Rivers, and Philip Rivers saw he was like, all right, I got to get off the couch at 44 years old and make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, well, it's going to stop him for what, half a year? I mean, you know, um, probably starts, like we said. Walker and Charbonnet are both probably starts here. I know that Tommy, is more partial to Charbonnet. I'm more partial to Walker, and that's probably where they belong. Probably starts. It is what it is. Only other probably start here to mention is Ty Warren, who I think might be the biggest casualty of this whole thing with the quarterback situation. He's been a must start and unbelievable every game until now, and now it's just probably, and I really hope he doesn't just get deleted off the face of the planet. We got him as probably. Let's see how the game goes. If it's not Rivers, we don't even know how well we don't know anything about this. We got him as a probably start. We're just going to rely on the talent. Really,
Yep.
that's it. Nothing really else to say about it, I
Yeah, and if
guess.
something happens with Rivers, then Ty Warren is the starting quarterback, so you might want to
Oh, let's hope
throw,
so.
you might want to hold on to him.
Or Brett Rippon or whatever the other guy's name is.
No, no, no. Ty Warren is going to be the starting quarterback.
Other options for the Colts, don't play anybody else. We've already had Pierce and Downs as drop candidates now. They're not going to be good. Pittman, though, if you want to take a deep league shot and narrative street your way to PPR points, fine. But I don't want to play. I don't want to play him. I don't want to play anybody else on the Colts. Nobody else here. Not against the Seahawks and not in this game. Other options for the Seahawks, though, Tommy, we say this all the time. Cooper Kupp, Torrey Horton, Rashid Shaheed, and AJ Barner. I mean,
Hmm.
any one of them could have a good game. Good luck determining who, right?
100%. I mean, I think Barner can have a decent game this week, but I think the running backs are going to be pretty much where you want to see play.
Yep. Yeah, they're going to kill them. And by the way, if you think that the Rams are going to lose to Detroit, Seattle's going to take the number one seed in the NFC after this, after they win this game. So
Yep. I mean, it is week 15. There's 3 more games after
three
this
more
week, so
games left. We got stuff coming up.
we got some time.
Let's go to the next game. We got the Minnesota Vikings at the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are minus 6.5
Sunday
point
night football.
home favorites, and the over-under is 47.5 points. This should be a real interesting game. This is a barometer. This is another barometer game for JJ McCarthy. Must starts in this game. All of them are on Dallas. Javonte Williams, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Fergalicious, and Dak Prescott. You're playing all of them again. Probably starts in this game. I recognize that the line suggests that you could play the Cowboys defense. I don't know if I could summon the strength to play the Cowboys defense, though.
I think, honestly, I think JJ McCarthy is going to get sacked the same amount of time
You
number.
think?
I think he's going to get sacked the same amount of number that his actual jersey number shows, which is 9 times.
Okay, 9. His
Nine.
his uh
Nine.
his alter ego. 9 in Germans means no, which is a better a better nickname. But I'll probably start in this game, and I actually want to call it out, despite what we just said about JJ McCarthy. I think Justin Jefferson has a good game in this game. I
He
would I
needs
would
to.
I would bet on that. Probably start in this game. I think he has a nice game. I don't know how he does the rest of the season. I think in this game it's a good game. Other options in this game, Tommy, Flournoy was a big waiver option guy this week for us. Obviously, if CeeDee Lamb is out, Flournoy is a must. I think he's a must play. But let's assume CeeDee Lamb is in. That's 90% he's going to be in. You think Flournoy is a, decent flyer?
I think he's a decent flex play, even if CeeDee Lamb is in there this week.
Okay. Okay. Would you play Flournoy or Godwin?
Godwin.
Okay. Flournoy or Tesla?
Don't even ask that question. Tesla is off the radar.
That's too bad. It's too bad. Other options for the Vikings. So now I get to have Tommy try to explain how Jones or Mason is going to have a semi-relevant game here.
Um, well, it's not going to be Mason.
It's not going to be Mason. So Jones is going to have a relevant game.
I'll have a relevant game.
Okay. All right. Would you play Jones or Corum?
Quorum.
Okay, that's how high you got Corum then in this
Yeah.
situation. Okay. Would you play Jones or a healthy Rodriguez?
Jones.
Okay. All right. Would you be willing to play
Oh my goodness.
would you be willing to play Jordan Addison in this game?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Nope.
All right. So no other love, but you would be willing to take a shot if you needed it on Hawkinson. That's
I think Hawkinson is the shot.
all right. Decent enough. All right. Let's go to the final game of the week. Monday Night Football. We've got the Miami Dolphins at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh are home favorites, minus 3.5 points. The over-under is 42.5 points. This is another interesting game here. The Dolphins have won however many games in a row. They're at 6-7. So they've been keeping it competitive. Must starts for the Dolphins. You're playing Devon Achane and you're playing Jalen Waddle. Must start for the Steelers. You're playing Jalen Beast Warren. Probably starts. Given the line, you could probably roll with the Steelers defense. Although this is another one that I'm a little scared because maybe the Dolphins put up a bunch of points here, right?
This is going to go over the total points
Okay.
for
Okay.
sure.
So judge your options if you have them. Given the line, probably, but you judge your options. Other probably start here, and he was close to a must start, but we got Metcalf again. I want to see consistency here. I want to see him continue to get targets, continue to perform. I don't want to have this up and down crap with him. So probably start DK Metcalf. Other options in this game. Tommy, I've been underwhelmed with Darren Waller in his return thus far. Does he start to turn it around?
I think he has to. This is a week that basically he has the opportunity to turn it around. And let me backtrack a little bit for what I said about the Miami Dolphins putting up a ton of points. They are going to be playing in Pittsburgh, and it's going to be projected 19 degrees with a 7 mile an hour wind chill.
Here comes the anti-Tua thing. Here we go.
Anything under 40 degrees, they do not play well. So narrative street, that's the route, but hopefully they could put at least 21 points up.
Okay. So keep an eye on that for Waller. And by the way, Waller for next week is they're playing the Bengals. So Waller should have a nice game next week. It's almost like I planned ahead for that week. So
Yep.
yeah.
Almost like it did.
Other options for the Steelers. Gainwell's always good to try to, if you want to throw in as a backup, as a running back option to try to like he'll be getting work. Arthur Smith
Yeah.
gets some work in for Warren.
In the past 3 weeks, he both running backs have opportunity. Kenneth Gainwell, the past 3 weeks, he's number 14 running back right now in the past 3 weeks, 19 touches for 127 yards, a touchdown, and then he's getting 16 targets, 14 receptions, 82 yards. It's really good numbers right there for full point or half point PPR. And then you look into Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren is the number 12 inside the 20. It's 6 touches, 10 rushes, two touchdowns. And then he's getting some receptions. He has one reception for 7 yards. So, they are viable. They're value assets. Jaylen Warren is at number 15, whereas obviously Kenneth Gainwell is at number 14. Within the past 3 weeks. So they are really good options this week, especially against the Dolphins. And the Dolphins are competitive. So the Dolphins need to win this game. Same thing with Pittsburgh Steelers. So this should be a really competitive game. I think this also turns into a shootout as well, too.
Really?
If
But
if
you just said the weather thing.
if weather holds, I mean, it is a stat, right? It is a stat. But what was the weather last week with the Jets?
It was bad.
It was below 40 degrees, right?
I,
So maybe the tide has turned a little bit. Maybe we'll see.
Maybe let me just tell you a good cure to whatever your cold weather evils is definitely playing the Jets. So this is not the Jets. So, yeah, in this game. So, therefore you wouldn't count Tua as a streaming option then.
No,
I wouldn't. Rodgers.
if you want upside, he's like your Tyrod Taylor of last week.
Ugh. No, I wouldn't play either of them. Not Tua, not Rodgers. I don't. Again, we already named the probably starts. Like, please, you could definitely try to do better than that. I will say again, like we say all the time about the Pittsburgh tight ends. Good luck figuring out which one's going to have a good week. One of them will.
Well,
So,
Darnell Washington he got hurt last week, so that's one less.
so Fryermuth and Janu, flip a coin if you
Yep.
want to
Or
go that
maybe
route.
both of them have relevance.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, Legacy is there. Adam
Oh
Legacy
God.
Thielen, week 2 with
You know
Adam
what?
Legacy.
I don't know what week it's going to happen. You know he's going to catch a touchdown.
It's gonna be this week. It's
I
gonna
don't
be this week.
I don't know.
Legacy. He's going for Legacy.
I do not know. But anyway, there we go. That is all of our that's our slate of games. Those are all the guys. And just a quick reminder, again, all of our must starts and probably starts will be posted in the description of this episode's video on YouTube. So please check us out there if you need it for easy reference. Closing thoughts, Mr. Lang?
Yeah, we truly appreciate everybody that takes the time to tune into our content. So if you could please like, share, and subscribe, we would greatly appreciate it.
Yes, we would. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.